Hello girlies, it's Mary and I'm back again to test out two products which claim to define curls. This time I will be comparing the Motions Versatile Texture Defining Cream with the new EcoStyle Coconut Oil Gel. So to begin with, I'm starting off with hair that has just been washed and deep conditioned. It's still wet and I'm using the Coconut and Hibiscus Curling Gel Souffle from Shea Moisture as a leave-in. I love to use this as a leave-in underneath gel just because it helps to reduce the hardness, because it has quite a sticky and runny texture which helps to retain moisture in my hair. So you can see how much I took and used on my finger. I just basically rubbed that through one half of my head, and then I took the same amount again and rubbed that through the second half of my head, and I actually did this twice but I didn't show it a bit on camera. So now moving on to the Motions Versatile Texture Defining Cream. Now this has a very long list of ingredients, but it does include coconut oil and olive oil, as well as a few other really good oils. It has a very gel-like texture, but when you actually apply it in your hair, it becomes a very mousse-like. You're going to see that a little bit later on. So as you know, I always deep condition in twists, and that helps me with styling. So I'm just taking the twists out one by one and then going along and defining my curls. Now for some of the sections I did actually split them into two, just because it made it easier to apply the gel. So yes, I'm adding the texture defining cream into my hair, and the first thing I noticed was that it goes on very easily. It has a really light texture, although initially in the hands it feels quite sticky, and it can feel quite sticky on the hair, but it does not take long to get worked into the hair, and it definitely runs through the hair very easily. It made very quick work of defining my curls. So just observing my hair, if you see the slightly white residue on it, it's just the product itself. When it goes into the hair, especially if your hair is quite wet, it becomes more of a mousse-like texture. This has a plus and a downside to it, I would say. On the plus side, it goes in very easily, as mentioned before, but on the downside, it can make it a little bit too runny, and sometimes it was running down my arms, my hands, yeah, which was not so great. But as I said before, it's very easy to go through the hair, and the definition was really beautiful on my wet hair. So this is how my hair looked after applying the Versatile Texture Defining Cream on the right hand side of my head. You can see that at the end there's still a bit of residue. It sort of left little globs, I would call it, of product and water at the ends of my hair, but once that dried, that went away, so it wasn't anything serious. So now moving on to the EcoStyler Coconut Oil Gel. If you'd like more details on this gel, then you can click the link in the iCards above. But essentially I chose to compare these two gels because they both contain coconut oil, and I just wanted to see how they perform on either side of my head. So if you've watched my previous reviews, then you'll know that the texture of this gel is a lot thicker than the other EcoStyler gels, and it was definitely a lot thicker than the texture defining cream. You can see here that I had to actually make more of an effort to separate my curls, to separate my hair, because my hair was clumping together a lot more with this gel, and that's due to the texture. Also the fact that the gel is a lot thicker meant that I had to apply a bit more for it to really go all the way down my strands. But if you observe closely, you can see very clearly that my curls on this side were a lot more elongated than on the other side of my head. The heaviness of the gel definitely had an impact on the way that my curls clumped together, and also how far down my hair actually fell. So I was just adding water for the parts of my hair that started to get a little bit dry before adding the gel to it, but essentially this was what I was left with. So you can see here that this side is hanging lower than the other side of my hair. That's mainly because this side of my hair is still wet and the other side was getting dry. But essentially you can see that the texture was a lot more defined on the Eco Style Gel than on the Motions Texture Defining Cream side. So on the Versatile Texture Defining Cream side, my hair was definitely very soft and fluffy, but in the end it was actually not very well defined at all. I had some definition, but definitely not maximum definition. So if you want very soft fluffy definition, then this would be the product for you. Now in comparison with the Eco Styler Coconut Oil Gel, you can see very clearly that this side was a lot more elongated and the curls are a lot more defined on this side. Now this side was a little bit more crunchy, but that was partly due to the fact that there was a lot more definition on this side of my hair also. So if you love maximum definition, then this would be the product for you to choose out of these two. So Curlies, thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up below this video if you find this information helpful and useful. You can click the link on the screen with my face on it if you would like to subscribe to my channel. And you can also click the links to see another video of mine if you would love to. Wishing you health, happiness and beautiful hair. I'll see you soon on the next video. Bye.